Which brake on your bike is safer to use, front or rear? A lot of new riders intuitively tend to use rear brake more than front because they think it's safer. Why is that so? Let's discuss in this video. We'll talk about braking on a straight line, braking in curve, braking with front and rear brakes separately, and most importantly, we'll discuss the most common mistakes with front and rear brake, see how they play out, and how to avoid them. This is pretty important video, especially for new riders, so don't forget to put a like right now and hit the subscribe button. Let's go! Before we dive into techniques, let's understand what actually happens when you brake. Chapter 1. The physics behind braking. When you squeeze that brake lever or press the pedal, you're essentially converting your bike's kinetic energy into heat through friction. But here's where it gets interesting. The physics of motorcycles create some surprising realities about front versus rear braking. When you apply brakes, weight transfer occurs. Your bike's momentum wants to keep moving forward, but the brakes resist this motion. This creates a forward weight shift that loads the front suspension and unloads the rear. Think of it like this. Imagine you're in a car that suddenly stops. Your body gets thrown forward, right? The same principle applies to your motorcycle's weight distribution. This weight transfer is crucial because it directly affects how much grip each tire has with the road surface. More weight equals more grip, less weight equals less grip. And here's the kicker. On most motorcycles, this means your front brake becomes significantly more powerful during braking, while your rear brake becomes less effective. The typical weight distribution on a motorcycle is roughly 50-50 when stationary, but during moderate braking, this can shift to 70-30 or even 80-20 in favor of the front wheel. During emergency braking, some bikes can achieve nearly 90% of their stopping power from the front brake alone. Now, some riders find this counterintuitive. After all, we have two brakes, so shouldn't they be equally important? The answer lies in understanding that motorcycle design prioritizes the front brake system. Let's talk about your front brake, the powerhouse of your braking system. Chapter 2. Front brake fundamentals. On modern motorcycles, the front brake typically provides 70 to 80% of your total stopping power under normal conditions. This isn't just a design choice, it's a necessity driven by physics. Your front brake system usually consists of larger discs, more powerful calipers, and a direct connection to your right hand through the brake lever. This setup allows for precise control and maximum stopping force when needed. The key to effective front braking lies in progressive application, not grabbing, but squeezing. Think of front brake application like squeezing a tube of toothpaste. You don't want to crush it all at once. You want steady, controlled pressure that increases gradually. Start with light pressure to load the front suspension, then progressively increase force as weight transfers forward and front tire grip increases. One critical aspect many riders overlook is brake pad temperature. Your front brakes work harder and generate more heat than rear brakes. Cold brakes don't perform as well as warm brakes, which is why the first few stops after starting your ride might feel less effective. Now let's address the rear brake, often misunderstood and frequently misused by new riders. Chapter 3. Rear brake reality check. Many beginners gravitate toward the rear brake because it feels safer and more predictable. While this instinct isn't entirely wrong, it's incomplete and can actually create dangerous situations. Your rear brake serves several important functions, but primary stopping power isn't typically one of them. Under normal braking conditions, the rear brake contributes only 20 to 30% of your stopping force. This percentage decreases even further during hard braking due to weight transfer lifting load off the rear wheel. However, dismissing the rear brake as unimportant would be a mistake. One unique characteristic of rear brake application is its tendency to be more forgiving of abrupt inputs compared to the front brake. While grabbing the front brake can result in a high side or endo, grabbing the rear brake typically results in a skid, which, while not ideal, is generally more manageable for most riders. The rear brake also plays a crucial role in bike stability. Many modern motorcycles feature smaller rear brake discs and single-piston calipers compared to their front brake systems. This design reflects the rear brake's supporting role rather than primary stopping function. Chapter 4. Straight Line Braking Mastery. Straight line braking might seem straightforward, but there's a proper technique that maximizes stopping power while maintaining control. The key lies in understanding the sequence and timing of brake application. Begin with light front brake pressure to initiate weight transfer. This loading of the front suspension increases front tire contact patch and available grip. As weight transfers forward, progressively increase front brake pressure. The goal is smooth, steady increase rather than abrupt grabbing. Simultaneously, apply light rear brake pressure. While the rear contributes less to total stopping power, it helps maintain stability and provides additional deceleration. The rear brake should be applied more gently than the front, as it's more prone to lockup due to reduced weight on the rear wheel. Body position during straight line braking matters more than many riders realize. Keep your arms relaxed and avoid supporting your body weight through the handlebars. Tense arms transmit unnecessary forces to the steering and can cause instability. Instead, grip the tank with your legs and allow your body to move naturally with the bike's deceleration. Progressive brake application means constantly adjusting pressure based on feedback from the motorcycle. If you feel the front wheel beginning to lock or slide, immediately reduce pressure slightly, then reapply. This process should become automatic with practice. Environmental factors significantly affect straight-line braking performance. Wet roads reduce available grip, requiring gentler application and longer distances. Cold tires provide less grip than warm tires. Debris, painted lines, or metal surfaces can create unexpected loss of traction. The concept of maximum braking threshold is crucial to understand. This is the point where your tires are at maximum grip without sliding. Operating at this threshold requires constant attention and adjustment. Going beyond this threshold results in sliding and loss of control, while staying too far below it means not utilizing your bike's full stopping potential. Practice straight-line braking in controlled environments. Empty parking lots provide safe spaces to experiment with different brake pressures and learn your motorcycle's characteristics. Start with gentle stops and progressively increase brake force as you develop feel and confidence. Chapter 5. Cornering and Braking Dynamics. Braking while cornering presents unique challenges that every rider must understand. The fundamental principle is simple. Your tires have a finite amount of grip, and you must share this grip between cornering forces and braking forces. Use too much of either, and you exceed available traction. The ideal approach to corners involves completing most or all braking before initiating the turn. This technique, called slow in, fast out, allows you to use maximum braking power while upright, then utilize full cornering grip through the turn. However, real-world riding sometimes requires mid-corner speed adjustments. When braking in corners becomes necessary, rear brake becomes more important than in straight-line situations. Light rear brake application can scrub speed without dramatically affecting the bike's lean angle or cornering line. Front brake application, while leaned over, requires extreme finesse, as it can easily overwhelm front tire grip and cause a low side crash. The physics of cornering braking involve the concept of the traction circle. Imagine your tire's grip as a circle. You can use all of it for braking, all of it for cornering, or some combination of both. But the total can't exceed the circle's circumference without losing traction. Trail braking represents an advanced technique where riders maintain light front brake pressure while entering corners. This keeps weight on the front wheel, maintaining steering precision and allowing for speed adjustments. However, trail braking requires significant skill and should only be attempted after mastering basic braking techniques. Different corner types require different braking strategies. Decreasing radius turns demand more conservative entry speeds since you can't see the full corner ahead. Increasing radius turns allow for later braking points. Blind corners require maximum caution with braking completed well before the unknown section. Surface conditions dramatically affect cornering braking capabilities. Wet roads, gravel, leaves, or oil reduce available grip significantly. What might be a manageable speed adjustment on dry pavement could result in a crash on compromised surfaces. Body position becomes even more critical when combining braking and cornering. Smooth inputs through controls prevent upsetting the bike's balance. Sudden brake application while leaned over is one of the quickest ways to lose traction and crash. Chapter 6: ABS Technology and Technique. Anti-lock braking systems, ABS, have revolutionized motorcycle safety by preventing wheel lockup during hard braking. However, ABS technology requires riders to understand its operation and adapt their techniques accordingly. ABS works by monitoring wheel speed and comparing front and rear wheel rotation rates. When the system detects impending wheel lockup, it rapidly releases and reapplies brake pressure to maintain wheel rotation. This process happens many times per second and is felt as pulsation through the brake controls. The key to effective ABS use is maintaining steady pressure on the brake controls when the system activates. Many riders instinctively release pressure when they feel ABS pulsation, thinking something is wrong. Instead, maintain or even increase pressure and let the system do its work. Modern ABS systems are sophisticated, with multiple sensors and advanced algorithms that account for lean angle, acceleration, and other factors. These systems can brake harder than most riders would dare attempt manually while maintaining control and stability. However, ABS has limitations. The system prevents lockup but doesn't increase available grip. On surfaces with very low traction, ABS stopping distances might actually be longer than skilled threshold braking. The system also adds weight and complexity to the motorcycle. ABS doesn't eliminate the need for proper braking technique. The system works best when combined with progressive brake application and proper body position. Sudden, harsh brake inputs can still overwhelm available traction even with ABS assistance. Different ABS systems have varying characteristics. Some are more aggressive, allowing wheels to approach lockup closely before intervening. Others are more conservative, activating earlier but potentially leaving some braking performance unused. Understanding your specific system's behavior helps you work with it effectively. ABS maintenance requires attention to wheel speed sensors, tone rings, and additional electrical components. Dirty or damaged sensors can cause system malfunctions. Regular cleaning and inspection prevent most ABS-related issues. Some advanced motorcycles feature multiple ABS modes or the ability to disable ABS for specific situations like off-road riding. Understanding when and how to use these features expands your riding capabilities while maintaining safety. Chapter 7: Common Braking Mistakes. Understanding common braking mistakes helps riders avoid dangerous situations and develop better technique. These errors often stem from natural instincts that work against motorcycle physics. The most dangerous mistake new riders make is over-relying on the rear brake. This instinct comes from bicycle experience, where rear brakes are often the primary stopping mechanism. On motorcycles, exclusive rear brake use dramatically increases stopping distances and can cause loss of control through rear wheel lockup. Grabbing the front brake represents another serious error. Sudden, harsh front brake application can cause high side crashes, endos, or loss of steering control. The front brake requires progressive application, not sudden grabbing. This mistake often occurs during panic situations when riders haven't developed proper muscle memory. Another common error is braking in inappropriate locations. Braking on painted lines, manhole covers, or other slippery surfaces can cause sudden loss of traction. Situational awareness prevents most of these incidents. Some riders develop the habit of riding the brakes by maintaining light brake pressure continuously. This technique causes brake fade, premature wear, and reduced emergency braking effectiveness when actually needed. The solution to most braking mistakes involves practice, education, and gradual skill development. Start with low-risk situations and progressively build confidence and ability. Understanding the physics behind braking helps overcome counterintuitive aspects of motorcycle control. Chapter 8. Different bike types, different techniques. Different motorcycle types require adapted braking techniques due to varying weight distribution, brake system specifications, and riding positions. Understanding these differences helps you adapt when riding different bikes. Sport bikes typically feature aggressive brake systems with large front discs and powerful calipers. The forward riding position loads the front wheel even at rest, making front brake application more effective. However, the short wheelbase and lightweight require careful technique to prevent endos during hard braking. Cruisers often have more substantial rear brake systems relative to their front brakes compared to sport bikes. The relaxed riding position and longer wheelbase make rear brake use more effective. Many cruisers feature linked braking systems that optimize brake balance for their specific characteristics. Touring motorcycles carry significant weight, often with passenger and luggage. This changes brake system requirements dramatically. Loaded touring bikes require longer stopping distances and more gradual brake application. The additional weight also changes weight transfer characteristics during braking. Adventure bikes present unique challenges with their tall seating position and long travel suspension. The high center of gravity affects weight transfer, while knobby tires might have different grip characteristics than sport bike tires. Off-road situations require completely different braking approaches. Electric motorcycles introduce additional considerations with regenerative braking systems. These bikes might have traditional friction brakes supplemented by motor regenerative braking, requiring adapted techniques to coordinate both systems effectively. Three-wheeled motorcycles, trikes, have completely different braking dynamics due to their stability and weight distribution. The inability to lean means different cornering and braking techniques compared to traditional two-wheeled motorcycles. Chapter 9. Maintenance for optimal braking. Proper brake maintenance ensures consistent, predictable braking performance and prevents dangerous failures. Understanding maintenance requirements helps you keep your braking system in optimal condition. Brake fluid maintenance is critical, but often overlooked. Brake fluid absorbs moisture over time, reducing its boiling point and potentially causing brake fade or failure. Most manufacturers recommend brake fluid changes every 2 years, regardless of mileage. Brake pad inspection should be part of regular maintenance routines. Worn pads reduce braking effectiveness and can damage brake discs if allowed to wear completely. Different pad compounds offer various characteristics. Some prioritize maximum stopping power, while others emphasize longevity or reduced noise. Brake system bleeding removes air bubbles that can cause spongy brake feel and reduced performance. Air in brake lines compresses under pressure, reducing the force transmitted to brake calipers. Proper bleeding technique ensures optimal brake feel and performance. Caliper maintenance includes cleaning, lubrication, and seal replacement as needed. Sticky calipers can cause uneven pad wear, poor performance, or complete brake failure. Regular cleaning prevents most caliper problems. Professional brake service might be necessary for complex procedures or when problems exceed basic maintenance. Understanding when to seek professional help prevents dangerous DIY mistakes while ensuring proper brake system function. Understanding front and rear brake dynamics transforms you from a rider who simply stops into one who controls speed with precision and safety. The key takeaways from this comprehensive guide center around physics, technique, and continuous learning. Remember that your front brake provides the majority of stopping power due to weight transfer during braking. However, the rear brake serves important supporting roles in stability, low-speed control, and specific riding situations. Neither should be ignored, but their applications differ significantly. Regular maintenance ensures your braking system performs when needed. Don't wait for problems to develop. Preventive maintenance prevents dangerous failures and maintains optimal performance. Technology like ABS and combined braking systems enhance safety but don't replace proper technique. Understanding how these systems work helps you maximize their benefits while recognizing their limitations. Remember to like this video if it helped you understand braking better, subscribe for more motorcycle safety content, and let me know in the comments what specific braking topics you'd like covered in future videos. Stay safe out there and remember, smooth is fast and smooth is safe.